Cadwell Park, the UK's mini Nurburgring. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but there's no denying it is a fantastic circuit, and it's probably my favourite in the UK too. Camping at the circuit the night before has its pluses and minuses, but focusing on the positive, it enables an impromptu track walk. So let's dive straight in with a slow outlap and a closer look at some of the bends. I know everybody says this, but when you're driving a circuit, you really don't get to appreciate gradients. Walking it, however, gives you the opportunity to see details you'll miss at high speed. Let's take our first stop here then, Hall Bends. Actually near the end of a lap, but because we've just come out of the pits, we're there first. Look at the camber and elevation changes. You're nicely hooked into the apexes, but note the rise and drop. You can expect the front to go a little lighter after the first apex, so it's worth being prepared to get a little more weight on the nose for the left-hander. I stick in the same gear all the way through Hall Bends, but lift a little to get the nose into the left. Sometimes I might even just do a little left foot brake, just the tiniest bit of pressure, just to ensure the nose is hooked in. Standing here looking back up at Hairpin that we've just turned around, it's amazing how steep this is in reality when you're static versus driving. There's one heck of a drop away. As we barrel down the start-finish straight at more than likely over 100 miles an hour, you don't really get time to take in the rapidly approaching turn 1 that is Coppice. A lot of people will say that in a Caterham, certainly when you're racing, this corner is flat, that you can just tip it in and go in there. Well, as you approach it on the circuit, you just think there's absolutely no way I'm going around that flat. However, if we go and take a closer look at it, you'll see why it's quite doable. Standing up the hill of Coppice and looking back down, you can very clearly see how steep the camber is in towards the apex. So as you come along the start-finish straight and just tip it in, there's quite a marked steepness to that camber that keeps the car pulled in towards the apex. So I can understand why people who race say that it's flat. However, I don't think I've ever had the confidence to do it. My life goal every time I've been to Cadwell is to look back over the stats afterwards and see that I've managed to go through the apex at 100 mile an hour. It'll be interesting to see if I've actually made it this time. Crikey, Park Straight looks a lot steeper from a distance. Okay, so walking the entire circuit takes a long time, and we didn't get all the way up here to Chris Curve. But as we turn in here, just notice that it's again on quite a camber. I wish we had wandered up here to Gooseneck though. It would have been great to get some static photos of this to show the various gradient changes and cambers as you go through. I love Gooseneck. What a corner. It's probably no surprise to find that the mountain is very steep. Get the exit of 11 and 12 right, and you too can get all four wheels off the ground in a Caterham, as John did more or less every lap. Okay, let's turn on the telemetry, go for a flying lap, and and see if I achieved my life goal. Cadwell Park, gotta love it. Next time we're off to Brands Hatch, GP layout. Excellent fun. See you then.